All right, another weekend and we're back at it. Hi, my name is Brian. I realize I don't really introduce myself on these videos, and I probably should. But my name is Brian. On the internet I go by Ragnar.Kon. Behind me is my 2022 Bronco Badlands with the mid-package and the manual transmission. And today I'm going to install a few things that I bought over Memorial Day. There was a few sales, I took advantage of them. One of them is just a quality of life thing. The other one is actually an oil catch can that Ford Performance released, which is really interesting. So we'll take a look and get it installed, and I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, so here's what I ended up with. These guys right here are just hood struts. These happen to be the official Ford Performance ones. There's various companies that make these. These were built by Ford specifically for the Bronco, which is nice. And then this catch can is really interesting. I did not expect Ford to release this. They have one for both engines, so they have one for both the 2.3 liter and the 2.7. I'll put parts number in the description. But it's interesting. So we got two hoses here. Looks like some bracketry, hardware, and then the catch can itself. Interesting. So I'll show you why this is so interesting once we get into it, but I'm curious if this does anything or if this is just a waste of money. That's part of the reason why I bought it. We'll have to see. Alright, so for now, let's just get the hood struts installed and we'll go from there. Alright. Oh, I already did that. Okay, so let's see just how difficult this is. Alright, instructions. Now, is this like easy to do, or should I explain how to do this? So it's just blind nuts there, blah blah blah, 13 millimeters. Okay, this is easy. So I'm not going to bother really filming it, but I'll show you what I do. That was easy. Other side. 13 mil. You know what I'm curious about is, for those of you that have the sound deadening, if you have the high package and you have the sound deadening on the inside of your hood, do you have to remove that sound deadening to get these in? These blind nuts in? I don't know. Let me know. Cool. Okay, so brackets are in. These guys are next. Are these different? No. They have different part numbers? No, they're exactly the same. Okay, so this might be tricky. Let's do the bottom ones first. Cool. Now, I think I have to do this all at once. I don't know if one of these hood struts is strong enough to hold up this lid, so we'll just have to see. All right. Oh man. Okay. There's one. There's two. Is that it? That's it. Sweet. Nice. All right, that was pretty easy, to be honest with you. The only thing that was even remotely hard was the little blue zip tie clips that hold on the wiring harnesses next to the hinges. I just took a little curved needle nose and I was able to get behind them and pop those out without breaking the clips. But other than that, like, awesome. Love it. Okay, on to the main event. So before I actually install this catch can, let's talk about catch cans in general, and then why I find this one in particular to be so interesting. All right, so general idea behind an oil catch can. An internal combustion engine, I'm sure most of you know this already, but an engine works by having a piston inside of a cylinder. That piston moves up and compresses air mixed with fuel. Then the spark plug sets that off. big boom happens and it forces the piston down. That's what generates your power inside of an internal combustion engine. Again, if you know anything about engines, you probably already know the basic concept, at least about how it all works. So the whole idea behind an internal combustion engine is to harness that boom and transfer it into mechanical power using gearing and all that stuff. In order to harness the most amount of power, you need to contain that explosion. That way the maximum amount of power from that explosion gets transferred to the rest of the vehicle. In order to do that, you need to seal the piston inside of the cylinder. That is done through piston rings. So as those cylinders are moving up and down inside of your engine block, trying to compress the air and then contain the resulting explosion, some of that air escapes the cylinder. It escapes through the piston rings into the lower crankcase. So that air needs somewhere to go. How do they do this? Well, they do this with something called PCV valves. PCV stands for positive crankcase ventilation. So the PCV valve attached to the engine is responsible for maintaining the proper air pressure within the crankcase. So if it's too high, it'll open that valve. It'll let air out of the crankcase. If it's too low, that valve will shut back up. Now, they can't just let that air out into the atmosphere. It's an emissions problem. So that air that's inside the crankcase is mixed with oil, it's mixed with unspent fuel, vapors, all that stuff. So they can't just exhaust that air out into the atmosphere. They have to somehow recapture that air. So what most people do, what most vehicle manufacturers do, is they take that air from the PCV valve and they send it back into the intake of your engine to be burned again. And that is exactly what the Bronco does as well. And that is when we start having a problem. So because of that air from the PCV valve has all of that gunk in it, that gunk is going to get deposited. It's going to line the entire inside of your intake system. Over time, that's a problem. It's going to restrict your airflow. It's going to eventually reduce the performance of your engine. And if it gets bad enough, you're going to have to tear apart your intake to clean it out. So the catch can is designed to prevent that. It's essentially designed to catch all of the gunk in that PCV there, capture it in a little can that every so often you can go and empty. And in theory, anyway, it'll keep your intake cleaner for longer. So does that mean you should rush out and install a catch can right away? No, I don't think so. Now, obviously, there's a wide range of opinions on the internet, from, you know, catch cans are nothing but snake oil, pure waste of money, to if you don't have one, your engine is gonna leave you stranded on the side of the road at 100,000 miles. Probably everything in between. I don't think you need it. Obviously, the engine manufacturers know what's going on here. They designed these things, built them, engineered them. They know how they work. In the case of the 2.3 liter on here, there is an air oil separator on the bottom of the crankcase to do much of the work that a catch can would normally do. So Ford's aware of it. They know it's happening. They're taking steps around it. For me personally, it is an optimization thing. I'm going to keep this thing to, you know, 300,000 miles, if not longer than that, hopefully. You know, we'll see how it goes, but that's the plan. So for me, it's just an optimization thing. So I already have a catch can. It's right here. It's made by UPR. It works by plugging into the factory PCV hose right there. That air gets sent to the catch can, it gets filtered, and then it gets sent back to the intake, which you can't see, but let's go around here. The intake is down there with that gray connector. You can see where it's plugged in. It works fine. I have no problems with this catch can. So then why did I order another one? And that's because this gets plugged into a different spot, and I'm really curious about it. So unlike the UPR catch can, which plugs into the PCV system, the Ford Performance catch can, this guy plugs into this hose right here. This hose goes from the top of the valve cover down to the intake pre-turbo. And I don't know why you need an oil catch can there. I don't get it. It makes me wonder if Ford knows what they're doing, to be honest with you. I don't get it. If you check the marketing lingo for this thing, it's like, you know, get your oil catch can from the people that know your engine the best. So, well, I guess it worked because I ordered it, but I'm really curious to see if this will do anything. So let's get it installed. Yeah, we'll see. All right, so where's the instructions? I have to go download it. I hate it when people do this. Okay, so we got to get these guys off. There's 1, 2. Cool. And we get our bracket, and our bracket slides on over the studs. There we go. These are 10 millimeter. Okay, and then these get torqued to 10 Newton meters. So 10 right there. And our vacuum lines go back on. Cool. Now, this guy just supposedly just slides on like that. Is that really all that's necessary? Feels like it should go farther down than that, I'll be honest. No, I guess that's all that happens. Alright. Okay, so now onto the hoses. And they got orange clips. And my previous experience with Ford hoses, orange means they're one-time use. They're tamper-proof, which means I actually have to break it off, which is freaking stupid. Well, let's see if the instructions tell us differently here. Your vehicle is equipped with the orange colored connector. Gently pry upward on the bottom of the connector to break the connector. Okay, yeah, so they're one-time use. That is so stupid. But okay, I can break it. So they say to use 2 screwdrivers to pry up the clip. I wonder when they suggested that if they realized there is literally no room to pry from. Like, did they actually install this? I'm guessing not, because any sane person would be like, alright, well, let's just start breaking, I guess. Okay, so I broke it. Did that do what we wanted to? I don't think it did. Alright, so can I get it off now? No? Not yet? So the trick is to break the connector off without breaking the end attached to the intake. Because you don't want to have to buy a whole new end. That would suck big time. I think this is the way to do it. This is stupid. I'm gonna go get a blanket so I don't lose orange shards. Try to keep the orange shards constrained. So much for that idea. Alright, I feel like we've definitely reached a point now where we should just be able to pull this off. There we go. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I mean, I destroyed it, right? But that's what they want you to do, so mission accomplished. I'm going to stick a piece of tape on that hole so nothing falls in it. But now I'm going to rinse repeat on the bottom one. Okay, so is there anything down there I don't want orange things hitting? Is the belt. But other than the belt, there's nothing down there. Okay, so break away. Da, 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 da. There we go. Alright, that wasn't too bad at all, to be honest with you. I mean, granted the goal with this is to break things, and usually you don't want to break things, but in this case you do. And I'm pretty good at breaking things, so that was right up my alley. The main thing is just to make sure you take all your anger out on the connector itself. So make sure you don't scratch that or, you know, nick that, break it. Don't do any of that to those. keep those as clean as you can. But for this, like, you know, do whatever you need to. Just go crazy. I mean, don't go crazy, but you know what I mean. Break it, but like, break it correctly. Got it? Cool. Okay, now the instructions say I need oil to lubricate the O-rings on the new connectors. So, 1 quart of oil. And let's get this thing all plumbed together now. So, what hose is what? Nope, this one's got to be the top one. Yeah, which means this one's the bottom one. Yeah, okay. So let's do the bottom one first, because that one looks like it's going to be the one that's the pain. Dun, 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 dun. Cool. Alright, now click. That wasn't bad at all. Alright, let's do you now. You go on top, right? Yep. Close that before I, you know, dump it all over the ground and create an ecological disaster in my front yard, because that's how I roll. Now, for you, you go right here. And then now, for the other hose, you go up top. Oh, I got residue all over it. Motherfucker. I was gonna get like Goo Gone, stuff like that. But I don't know what Goo Gone's gonna do to this plastic on this engine. So to avoid that, I'm just gonna wipe it up with a towel. Did I get it? Okay, all right. Crisis averted. All right, set it down all the way. Okay, I think we're done. Cool. Okay, so here's the plan. I'm gonna go drive this around for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, put some stress on it. Just make sure it's not gonna throw any engine codes or anything like that for lack of vacuum or whatever. And then at the end of summer, I should be close to my oil change. I'll open that catch can up and we'll see if it actually did anything. I'll also show you what the UPR catch can got, so you can see that. So, that's it for now. As usual, Ragnar.Kon, Bronco Nation, Bronco 6G. Feel free to reach out with questions, comments. Be happy to help. As far as what's next for me, I'm actually talking to the guy from Plug and Play Kits. His shop is local to me. It's only about a 45-minute to an hour drive away. So I might go down and check out to see what he's all about. Obviously, the kicker key amplifiers are out of stock pretty much everywhere you look. So he's got some new amplifiers in that might be a good substitute. I might go down and play with them a little bit, and then I'll show you guys. And then I also got the Heretic lights. Those need to go in. That's going to be happening sometime this summer. I don't know when. Maybe in the next week or two. We'll see. And then, yeah. Obviously, at the end of the summer, I'll make a follow-up to this video. Show you the catch cans. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye, guys. All right, so back for my test drive. No check engine light. We're good to go on that front. If you are interested in a catch can, definitely do your research. You know, Google, YouTube, all the usual stuff. I will also link to a video in the corner here from Dwayne. He has a channel called Driven Wild Outdoors, I want to say. He just rebranded, so I can never remember his new channel name. But check the corner. He talked to one of the manufacturers of the catch can. It's a really good video. Highly recommend it. And then you can decide for yourself if you want one or not. Oh, there's a Bronco. Ooh, a Bronco just drove by. Anyway, so, yeah, check it out. Make your own decisions. If you see a video here in the corner, that means you're watching this in the future, and I've already done the follow-up video. If not, and it's something completely unrelated, check back at the end of summer, and I should have a follow-up, and then we can actually see if I caught anything in this catch can. So, that's it. Bye.